Imagine a world where your work isn't just a means to an end, but a source of profound fulfillment and inspiration. A world where you wake up every morning excited to tackle the challenges that lie ahead, not because of the promise of a bigger paycheck or the fear of losing your job, but because you're deeply intrinsically motivated to do your best work. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. That sounds great, but it's just a pipe dream. In the real world, people are motivated by money, status, and power. And to that, I say, you're absolutely right. That is how most organizations operate. But here's the thing, they're doing it wrong. You see, there's a fundamental mismatch between how most companies try to motivate their employees and what actually drives human behavior. And this mismatch isn't just holding us back, it's actively crushing our creativity, our productivity, and our sense of purpose. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you're sitting in your office, staring at a complex problem that's been keeping you up at night. You've tried every trick in the book, but nothing seems to work. You're frustrated, demoralized, and ready to give up. But then something shifts. Instead of focusing on the stick of failure or the carrot of a bonus, you start to tap into something deeper. You remember why you got into this field in the first place, the thrill of the challenge, the satisfaction of cracking a tough nut, the sense of purpose that comes from making a real difference. And suddenly, the problem that seemed insurmountable starts to look a little more manageable. You start to see new angles, new possibilities. You feel a surge of energy and a renewed sense of determination. And before you know it, you've had your breakthrough. This isn't just a feel good story, it's backed up by a growing body of scientific evidence. Study after study has shown that when people are intrinsically motivated, when they're driven by a sense of autonomy, mastery, and purpose, they're more creative, more engaged, and more productive. Take the classic candle problem experiment. Participants were given a candle, some matches, and a box of tacks, and asked to attach the candle to the wall so it wouldn't drip wax on the table. Most people struggled until they had an aha moment and realized they could empty the box, tack it to the wall, and use it as a platform. But here's the kicker. When researchers offered a reward for the fastest solution, people actually took longer to solve the problem. The extrinsic motivator had the opposite of its intended effect. It narrowed people's focus and made it harder for them to think creatively. And this isn't an isolated finding. From software engineers to factory workers, from artists to entrepreneurs, the evidence is clear. When we rely too heavily on carrots and sticks, we undermine the very things that make us human. So, what's the alternative? How can we create organizations that truly harness the power of intrinsic motivation? It starts with autonomy, giving people the freedom to work on things they're passionate about in ways that play to their strengths. It means trusting them to manage their own time and make their own decisions, rather than micromanaging their every move. It's about mastery, creating an environment where people can continuously learn and grow, where they're challenged to push beyond their comfort zones and become the best versions of themselves. And it's about purpose, connecting people's work to something bigger than themselves, whether it's a mission to change the world or simply the satisfaction of a job well done. When you get these three elements right, autonomy, mastery, and purpose, magic happens. People come alive. They bring their full selves to their work, and they create things that are truly remarkable. We've seen it happen time and again. At Atlassian, the Australian software company, they have FedEx days, where engineers can work on anything they want for 24 hours. These autonomous creative bursts have led to countless innovations and improvements. Or look at the results-only work environment, where employees don't have set schedules and can work whenever and wherever they want, as long as they get their work done. Companies that have embraced this model have seen productivity soar and turnover plummet. And then there's Wikipedia, the ultimate example of what's possible when you harness the power of intrinsic motivation. While Microsoft was pouring millions into its Encarta encyclopedia, hiring professional writers and editors, Wikipedia was building something far more comprehensive and dynamic, all through the voluntary contributions of ordinary people driven by a sense of purpose. The lesson is clear. If we want to solve the complex problems of the 21st century, if we want to unleash the full potential of human creativity and drive, we need to fundamentally rethink how we motivate people. We need to move beyond the outdated notions of carrots and sticks and tap into the deeper well springs of autonomy, mastery, and purpose. We need to create organizations that align with the science of motivation rather than working against it. And this isn't just a nice to have, it's a necessity. In a world that's changing faster than ever, where the problems we face are more complex and interconnected than ever, we simply can't afford to waste the vast reserves of human potential that lie dormant in so many organizations. So, my challenge to you is this: take a hard look at your own organization, your own team, your own work life. Are you relying on outdated notions of motivation? Are you crushing creativity and engagement with if then rewards and punishments? Or are you ready to embrace a new paradigm, one that taps into the best of human nature and unlocks the full potential of every individual? If you're ready to make that shift, the benefits could be immense. You could unleash a tidal wave of innovation and creativity. You could build organizations that are more agile, more resilient, and more humane. You could create a world where work is a source of joy and fulfillment, not just a means to an end. But it won't happen by itself. It will take courage, experimentation, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. It will mean rethinking some of our most basic assumptions about what motivates people and what makes organizations successful. Are you ready to take on that challenge? Are you ready to be a pioneer in the new world of work, to create organizations that truly harness the power of intrinsic motivation? If so, then let's get started. Let's build workplaces that bring out the best in people, that tap into the deep reserves of passion and purpose that lie within each of us. Let's create a world where work is a source of meaning and inspiration, not just a paycheck. The science is clear, the benefits are immense, and the time for action is now. So let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. Let's create a world where every individual can thrive, where every organization can excel, and where the full potential of the human spirit can be unleashed. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. And together, driven not by carrots and sticks, but by the power of intrinsic motivation, I believe we can make it happen. Thank you.